I'm from a really small school down in southeast Oklahoma. We don't have very good access to internet. And I just think that we need some more virtual resources because we will have problems with internet all the time. And like one time I had to go sit out of my car and hook up to my hotspot on my phone to take a test because the internet in my house was terrible. And it's not only terrible in my house, but sometimes it goes out at school too. So I just think we need more virtual resources to help when we have to go home because of COVID.
Thank you. And thanks for bringing that perspective. That's got to get fixed. That internet connection should be as common as running water and electricity. I mean, it's just imperative. Thank you.
So one of the main challenges I've recognized in my own school is concerning virtual learning as opposed to traditional in-person learning. And a couple of people have touched on this. I think Elizabeth and Peyton did. Last year, at least in my own school, we had a lot of options. We were really lucky. We were able to do all of our learning online or all in person or a combination of the two, and it worked really well. But unfortunately, this year, those options were removed, and in-person learning was all we had. And I think at the beginning of the year, my school was really confident in their ability to keep us safe. But of course, with this last variant, which was completely unforeseeable, they had no idea. They can't keep us safe anymore. And these past few weeks, we've sort of been in limbo, bouncing back and forth between distance learning and in-person learning. And this week, we're completely virtual. And in truth, it feels like it's March of 2020 again. I think everyone is really trying their best. But even after 2 years of this, we're still really unprepared. And I think that's because the goal has always been to return to how things were. So instead of moving forward and sort of accepting a new normal, everyone's trying to go back. And I hate to say it, but I'm not sure that's realistic anymore. And the bouncing back and forth between in-person and online is really harmful to students and teachers. I know everyone wants to keep the schools open, but it's getting harder. So I think every time we try to go back and we fail, we just end up back at square one. And I think that both students and teachers need help accepting that changes in our learning is inevitable. And that, possibly in the future, we might even have to consider an alternate hybrid form of learning. So we can all finally move on.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It's just a lot packed into that. And I love how you spoke from your heart about this. I'm just curious, what would you see in the future as optimal?
That's a great question. I really think that there are benefits to online learning. I know that there are a lot of struggles with it, but when I said hybrid as well, that was something that we could do at our school. Was some classes were online and some classes were in person, and it helped us keep the number of students per class down. So we could socially distance in class. Those students who maybe had family members who were at higher risk in their households who wanted to stay at home were able to learn virtually. And I think that is really beneficial.
Thank you. And I know I'm just thinking about, was it Caitlin or Geralyn or Carolyn? I'm looking. I can't read the names on the little tile at this moment. But just like then you have the issue of, do we have connectivity? Can all kids have the same access? That's the big decider for a lot of people too. So Gosh, you guys have done a great job already, just bringing a lot to the table to discuss. I really appreciate your perspective.
For more information, you can visit TULSAworld.com.